Hello wrestling fans! Today we're exploring the thrilling evolution of the WWE Women's Division, from its modest beginnings to its rise as a central element of professional wrestling. Join us as we delve into the transformative moments and key figures who have shaped this dynamic division. The early days, the 1980s and 1990s. In the 1980s and 1990s, the WWE Women's Division was quite different from what we see today. Initially, women's wrestling received minimal exposure, and the matches often lacked the serious competition seen in men's bouts. During this era, the Fabulous Moola, who had dominated women's wrestling since the 1950s, continued to be a prominent figure, although nearing the end of her in-ring career. Meanwhile, Wendy Richter emerged as a new star, helping to bring more attention to women's wrestling with her involvement in the Rock and Wrestling Connection. This period was crucial for setting the stage for future developments. However, it was also marked by sporadic appearances rather than consistent storylines, with women wrestlers often sidelined and their potential underutilized in the broader narratives of WWE programming. The Attitude Era, late 1990s to early 2000s. As the Attitude Era took shape in the late 1990s, the WWE Women's Division began to experience a shift in both character development and audience perception. This period saw the emergence of more dynamic and controversial figures such as Sable, who became known not only for her in-ring skills, but also for her sex appeal, embodying the era's edgier, more provocative style of entertainment. Lita and Trish Stratus also rose to prominence, bringing a new level of athleticism and fierce competition to the division. Their performances helped to elevate women's wrestling, showing that women could captivate audiences with high-quality matches. Despite the progress, the division often grappled with the double-edged sword of increased visibility paired with highly sexualized storylines, reflecting the broader, more adult-oriented content of WWE programming during this era. Ruthless Aggression Era, building legitimacy. The early 2000s marked the Ruthless Aggression Era, a time when the WWE Women's Division began solidifying its legitimacy within the sports entertainment industry. During this period, wrestlers like Trish Stratus, Victoria, and Lita continued to build on the foundations laid during the Attitude Era, participating in some of the most memorable and competitive matches in the division's history. Notably, this era was characterized by an increased focus on wrestling ability and athletic prowess over mere appearance. Storylines became more substantial, and the women involved were given greater opportunities to showcase their talents in longer, more prominent matches. This shift was pivotal as it began to change how audiences and the company itself viewed women's wrestling, setting the stage for even greater advancements in the division's status and the quality of its in-ring action. The PG Era and the Divas Championship. In 2008, WWE introduced the Divas Championship, marking a significant though controversial era in women's wrestling. The term diva was both embraced and criticized, as it often connoted glamour and sex appeal over athleticism. Despite this, the era featured talented wrestlers like AJ Lee, the Bella Twins, and Paige, who strived to push the boundaries of what female athletes could do in the ring. Their efforts gradually shifted the focus back towards wrestling skills and compelling storytelling. Matches and rivalries developed more depth, with AJ Lee's reign as Divas Champion helping to spark interest in more serious women's competition. This period laid the groundwork for the eventual transformation of the division, as fan demand for high-quality women's wrestling grew, setting the stage for the revolutionary changes that were soon to follow. The Women's Revolution, a new beginning. The year 2015 marked a turning point for the WWE Women's Division, ignited by the #GiveDivas movement that echoed through social media, demanding better representation and opportunities for female wrestlers. Responding to this outcry, WWE began to rebrand its women's division, phasing out the term diva and reintroducing the Women's Championship at WrestleMania 32. This era was defined by the rise of Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Bayley, collectively known as the Four Horsewomen of NXT, who brought unprecedented in-ring prowess and storytelling to the division. Their matches, particularly at NXT TakeOver events, were critically acclaimed and demonstrated that women's wrestling could command the main event spotlight. This revolution shifted the perception of women in WWE from side attractions to main eventers, showcasing their ability to draw large audiences and deliver compelling athletic performances. NXTs Impact. NXT, WWE's developmental territory, played a pivotal role in reshaping the women's division into what it is today. It provided a platform for female wrestlers to hone their craft, develop their characters, trailblazers and engage in longer, more competitive matches. The influence of NXT was profound, especially with the emergence of the Four Horsewomen, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Bayley. These athletes set new standards for what women's wrestling could be, participating in groundbreaking matches like the first women's Iron Man match and the first women's main event at a TakeOver special. This focus on quality and competition allowed NXT to serve as a proving ground, where upcoming talent could establish themselves before transitioning to WWE's main roster. The success of NXT's women's division highlighted the potential for women's wrestling, leading to greater opportunities and visibility on the larger WWE stage. The Evolution pay-per-view. In 2018, WWE hosted its first all-women's pay-per-view, Evolution, a landmark event that not only celebrated women's wrestling, but also showcased its evolution from sideshows to headline acts. This event featured a mix of past legends and current stars, highlighting the growth and acceptance of women in wrestling. Matches such as Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch and the Last Woman Standing match were particularly notable for their intensity and quality, demonstrating that women's matches could carry a major event. Evolution was widely praised both critically and by fans, serving as a testament to the progress of the women's division and setting a precedent for future women-led events. And this pay-per-view marked a significant moment in wrestling history, proving that female wrestlers could draw big audiences and deliver performances equal to or surpassing their male counterparts, current stars, and future prospects. Today, the WWE women's division is richer and more diverse than ever, featuring a wide array of talent from around the globe. Stars like Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and Asuka have taken the forefront, demonstrating exceptional athleticism and charisma that continue to elevate the division. These wrestlers, among others, have been central to women headlining major WWE events, including WrestleMania. The division also sees continual infusion of new talent from international and independent circuits, which keeps the competition vibrant and the narratives fresh. The investment in women's wrestling is evident in the quality of the production and the storytelling, with current stars setting new benchmarks for future generations. As the division continues to grow, it not only pushes the boundaries of the sport, but also paves the way for women in wrestling to achieve even greater feats. The evolution of the WWE women's division is a testament to the resilience, talent, and perseverance of countless women who have graced the wrestling ring. From the early days of minimal exposure to the groundbreaking moments of the women's revolution, each era has contributed to a larger narrative of growth and empowerment. Today, the division is not just a segment in wrestling shows, but a central, integral part of WWE programming, drawing large audiences and earning critical acclaim. As we look forward, it's evident that the women's division will continue to break barriers and challenge the norms of professional wrestling. The continued push for equality in sports entertainment, driven by these athletes' remarkable abilities and compelling storytelling, promises an even brighter future for the next generation of women in wrestling. This journey reflects a broader movement towards inclusivity and respect in sports, making the story of the WWE women's division an inspiring chapter in the history of athletics. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of the WWE women's division. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more wrestling content. Until next time, keep cheering and supporting these incredible athletes who redefine the limits of professional wrestling.